I shoot and also work with other weapons and stuff like that. But I'm going to jump right into it and go into the different material. So this is a semi-automatic weapon that they're calling an assault rifle, but it's really not an assault rifle. But anyway, that's getting into other matters. But every time you pull the trigger, it goes off. The standard magazine capacity is 30 rounds. Okay, so the bullets are actually in here, right? Okay, and I don't know. Does anybody in here know about guns? Okay. Okay, so if some of this sounds silly or too basic, some of the people may not know this, so I gotta go through it. Even though for me this is like, oh my gosh. So anyway, they call this high capacity. It's not high capacity. This is standard capacity for a gun like this. So anyway, 30 rounds in here. Okay. So every time they pull the trigger, there's a little bolt in here that goes back. And when it goes forward, it loads another bullet into the chamber, which puts the bullet, and then the bullet comes out. Okay, so that's important to know because if someone had the magazine out of this gun, then they could have either 0 bullets in here or they could have 1 bullet in here. Okay? So that would be a good time to attack somebody is when this magazine is out. So when they run dry, when they run out of bullets, they need to fish around and find another magazine and put it in here. While they're doing that is a good time to jump on them because they probably don't have any bullets in the gun. Although they could have 1, but they probably have none. Now, something about this weapon is it's a long distance weapon. In other words, you know, I don't know, from here to some of those cars might be the beginning distance of what it should really be used for, out to like 200-300 yards. Okay, so it's not really suited for a close range weapon. Okay, so that means that you guys need to get close. The further away you are, the more you are the advantage of this. The closer you are, the more advantage you have because it's a long range weapon, so you need to be close. Okay. Also, you know, I mean, this goes without saying almost, but you know, if the barrel is not pointing at you, you're not in danger. So what we're going to be doing all the time is we're either going to be hitting it and get out of the way, but more likely we're going to be removing our body from in front of this barrel. So, you know, okay, now, you know. So if you're not in front of the barrel, you're not in danger. So that's the other thing. Let me see what this says. And one thing to remember is that people get shot all the time and they don't die. All the time. So if you get shot, don't say, oh, it's over. It's like, no, it's not over. You know, we're close to hospitals around here. You can be shot, be taken to the hospital. They know how to fix you up. So just because you're shot doesn't mean you're dead. That's a good time to keep fighting right there. Okay, it's a distance weapon. It's a linear. The reloading. Some people are really fast. If they're trained, they can reload a weapon really quickly. But some people, they're not that good, so it might take them quite a long time to reload a weapon, and they're stressed out, and they're on Zoloft and different things, and you know they could have problems. So you might have a good chance to do that. But you know this thing does hold 30 rounds, so it may be some time before they run out. How the guns operate. Okay, so this is one type of weapon. This is a copy of what our military uses, although our military can shoot 3 rounds at a time. Bing, 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 bing. Is more of a real assault rifle. This is basically a civilian copy. So they like to call them assault rifles, but they're really not. They're just semi-automatic guns. There's lots of guns that don't look scary that shoot the same way. This is an AK-47. Kind of same thing, different. Soviets made this one.
Does that shoot 30 rounds as well?
Yeah.
Any of the ones
30
that have
round
the
clip.
little
Banana clip.
banana clip, yeah.
Yeah.
Will shoot 30 rounds.
Yeah. Yes. 30 rounds is standard capacity. On the news, they like to say it's high capacity. That's standard capacity. They have magazines that can hold 60 rounds. They have magazines that can hold 100 rounds, and stuff like that. So this is really, they call it high capacity. It's really standard capacity. But yeah, there's so much it's hard for me to listen to the news because the journalists have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
It's infuriating, really. Okay, this is a semi-automatic pistol. Okay, so the same thing. It's got a clip, and I'm going to use this. It's an airsoft gun that's broken. The barrel's broken. So imagine a barrel that goes out to here. All right. So this is a semi-automatic handgun. So this is much better for close range. So within the confines of this is more the range that a weapon like this was built for. So if they're walking into a place like this with a weapon like that, it's really not the right weapon to have because this is a longer range weapon. This is a shorter range weapon, so this is actually scarier because you can shoot somebody real close with this one. So this is more dangerous, but again, you just need to get closer. Getting far away will not help me. If you're on the other side of the room and I have this, I can still point at you and hit you easily. You want to be close. So that's a rule in all this stuff is you need to get real close to it. Okay, the way this operates, same thing. It's got a clip or a magazine with the bullets are in. The bullets go in here, and then if they were getting it ready, they would do the slide back, and when it goes forward, a bullet is loaded in the chamber. So even if they'd taken the magazine out, they could have one bullet in the gun. Okay. When they shoot the gun, the slide goes back, and it goes forward. That's why it's semi-automatic. I pull the trigger, bang, slide goes back. When it goes forward, it loads another bullet. So every time I pull the trigger, I get another shot. Okay. So when they drop that, they've got 0 bullets or 1 bullet. And most of the time, and if the gun looks like this, and the slide is all the way back like that, it means that it's out of bullets. The slide stays back. Okay. And they're talking about different gun restrictions, and they're talking about, reducing the magazine size and all that stuff. It's not going to do anything to prevent tragedies at all, because if somebody does have, you got this, let's say I had 10 rounds, I shoot until it's empty, bang, 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 then, Did that take me a long time to reload? Okay. I'm trained, but I'm not necessarily the fastest in the world, but still, that's fast, right? So they're gonna try and say this holds about 15 rounds. They're gonna try and we're gonna make it 10 rounds. The world's gonna be safer. No, it's not. It's not gonna be safer at all. So, but anyway, that's beside the point. But it's important that you know how this works. Now, and I'm doing this for a purpose. I've done this, and I have this on video, and maybe I'll send you some links later. But if somebody has this gun, and I grab this slide, if I grab this whole thing, if I can stop this slide from going back, it won't reload the next round. It'll go bang, but the slide won't go back, which is the slide going back and going forward loads the next round. So if I can grab it, bang, it goes off once, then they basically have a gun that doesn't function until they would have to grab the slide, pull it back, and let it go forward.
How much strength does that take?
Not much at all. Not much at all. And I do it on video, and I even go like this and stop the slide from going back. So you can grab it, or you can just be behind it. So all you have to do is stop this slide from going back and forward like that, and you can disable the gun. Okay. The revolver. A revolver can hold up to about 8 rounds, okay? Basically, every time you pull the trigger, the cylinder actually rotates to the next bullet. So bang, and then when I pull the trigger, the cylinder rotates to go to the next bullet, right? So if you grab the cylinder, and it doesn't take much strength, when they pull the trigger, the cylinder doesn't rotate, they cannot make the gun fire as long as you're holding the cylinder, because it has to rotate to go to the next bullet to fire. Okay? All right. Any questions on any of that so far? Okay.
How many bullets are in the revolver?
Anywhere from 5 to 8. And you can see some people on videos too that are shooting revolvers, and they go bang, 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 bang. Whoosh. So if you're trained, you can reload really fast. How guns operate, slide, cylinder, hammer. Okay, targets. So, if we're fighting somebody with a gun, then we want to attack the eyes. They need to be able to see to shoot, right? And then the arms or the hands, because you have to hold the weapon. Okay, we're not worried about them kicking us in the face or something. We're worried about the weapon and the ability to use the weapon. So we're going to attack the eyes and the hands. So those would be our targets. Okay, now I think it's a great disservice that you guys can't have guns in this school. I think you should have guns. Most of these mass murders have been in places where people couldn't have guns. Even on that army base in Fort Hood, where all those people got killed, the soldiers could not have guns in that room that they were in. So the only way, the best way to beat a gun is with another gun. And that's how usually these things end. Usually the cops show up with guns. A lot of times the people kill themselves. Sometimes the cops kill them. But a gun versus gun is the best way to solve the problem, and that's just the nature of warfare, the nature of tools, right? So, but if you can't have a gun, then you need to think a little bit outside of the box. It's not the gun or nothing. I mean, you probably wouldn't catch too much flack if you had this, and I guess you'd say you can go to work, and say, "Ooh, I hurt my leg." So anyway, this would be much better than just having empty hands, right? So this could be a weapon. So you can start thinking about what weapons you could have. Scissors. This is better than nothing too, right? A can of soda. Red Bull is really good because it's a slim can. You can grip the can, so that could be used, right? A hammer. So you can start looking around at different tools that you could use. And basically I think knives. Can't have knives?
Over 4 inches.
Where's that rule come from?
In the school.
In the school?
Because I used to carry little Swiss Army knives.
Okay.
And I was told, ooh.
Okay. Well, you might check that out. State law is 5.5 inches, but some cities make up their own rules. But if you had a knife, that's usually acceptable, or maybe you have a kitchen or something. I mean, that would be ideal. Because the idea is, empty hand against a knife just really doesn't work. I don't care how much karate training you've had. It doesn't, against a weapon. It just really doesn't work that well. But you you do what you have to do. But anyway, you might want to look around for things that could be used as weapons. Is my point. Cover and concealment. The gun guys use terminology like cover and concealment. So I'm not sure in this room. This door, I guess, is pretty thick. But anyway, let me explain the technical difference between cover and concealment. Cover is something a bullet that won't go through. So like a brick wall. You got a brick wall over there. If you're behind that brick wall, the bullets cannot go through that brick wall. So you're behind cover. You're protected by that cover. Concealment means the bullet can go through it, but they can't see you. So behind this door, I'm not sure if this would be cover or concealment. It may depend on the bullet. It may depend on this door, how actually solid it is. I'm not sure. A bullet may or may not be able to go through this, depending. Okay. So this could be this could be either cover or concealment. So if you're behind here, it may be cover where they just can't see where you are, which makes it hard for you to shoot. Hard for them to shoot you if they can't see you, or the bullet actually may stop it. I think it's debatable. It probably depend on the bullet there. So anyway, that's the difference between cover and concealment. So if somebody has a gun, you either need to get close or you need to get behind cover. Okay, so it might be a good place to put the kids, is figure out where to put the kids behind cover. Now, bulletproof vests are not illegal for citizens that don't have felonies. So you can get a bulletproof vest and you can wear that. It's a big hassle. It depends on how big you think the threat is. Statistically, it's a very small threat. I mean, this is like Jaws. When Jaws came out, this is what this really is. This is like Jaws. You go to the beach, you think you're going to get attacked by a shark. If you look at the statistics, it hardly ever happens. But the media is like, talking about it all the time. We're on the way over here and they're talking about Aurora and they're hyping it up,
Quick question. If that door is locked, say we have a locked door like that, how many shots would it take for them to be able to break through like the handle?
Of course, we
You
can't lock
see
it
that on
from
TV
the-
I think it'd be extremely difficult.
Okay.
That door is designed
That's a
really
solid-
well for that. If they were using breaching rounds, I don't even think breaching rounds would get through that.
Okay, so
I think it'd be very hard.
So
Yeah.
if you
That
could
is-
say,
Yeah. Yeah.
other than.
Of course, it doesn't
Yeah,
lock
I
from
guess-
inside.
We have to
Yeah.
only
Of
lock
course,
it
you know,
from
what I don't
outside.
like about this is the
kids
fact
around
that
here,
they can
got a
see
lot of
through this.
windows, yeah.
I would like it so they couldn't see through this, but y'all have different reasons why you
Yeah.
want to be able to see, so.
Right.
And that's also a two-way.
That's an observation.
That's-
It's a-
yeah.
Okay.
Observation. They
Yeah,
can see
that would be a
through
good
there.
example of concealment. See? You're behind there, he can't see you. He can shoot through it, but he doesn't know where you are.
Yeah,
Cover would be behind this brick wall.
so that
Um,
would be a good place to go.
yeah, if you can get there.
If you could get there.
That's where
Yeah.
I plan always.
If it was-
I
There's
think
no
it's-
door in there.
I have all these things planned. I think
Yeah.
they'll take the kids into the observation.
Okay, let me see what's next.
I think if we were to have a situation, it would be probably something in the parking lot,
Y'all better let them see what the students.
possibly, you know, maybe not even involving us, but we need to get the children away from all the windows and,
Yeah,
Behind brick
so-
walls.
sick
Yeah,
cover.
so anywhere there's a brick wall would be a good place for them to be. Okay, now we get to the more fun part. Footwork. Okay, let me see. Well, I'll demonstrate first and then we'll all get up and we won't have enough time. Let me see. Okay, footwork. So, on the target, in the terminology that people use commonly, it's called you're on the X. Okay. On the target, so I'm on the X. So what I need to do is I need to get off the X. They're going to point the gun at me, right? They don't point the gun. They point the gun at me, and they point the gun at me. What I have to do is get off the X. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm on the X, and you can practice. It's nice to put a line because you know the gun shoots linearly. So the way that I'm going to teach it is this foot turns like this, and you push off with this foot, and you go that way. And of course, this works either way, right? I can go either way. And there's reasons sometimes you have to go one way because there's things like walls and desks and all kinds of stuff why you might have to go both ways. Unfortunately, it'd be nice to just go one way. So you turn the foot and you push off this way. But the whole thing I'm trying to do is he points a gun at me. I want to be away. I want to be not the gun not pointing at me. And the reason we have to do that is some people teach stand right here and we're going to knock the gun away. Okay, well guess what happens if I'm holding a gun and my finger's on the trigger and you slap my hand? What could possibly go wrong there, right? I could tense up and as soon as I tense up, what happens, right? Now I tense up, boom. So as soon as you slap the gun, bang, it goes off. So what we're going to do is we're going to get offline and then we're going to slap. So if it goes off, boom, it goes off here and the bullet doesn't hit you. Okay, so footwork. So we're here, we're going to put this foot out a little bit like that, we're going to push off, and this is getting kind of technical, but my hips and my shoulders are facing this way, and then when I push out, my hips and my shoulders are facing this way. So, I think we need to do that.